Hello everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I am very excited to be bringing you kind of my initial impressions of Ether 1. So I do need to say real quick, of course, I am looking at a review build of the game, so, if there are any bugs, which there shouldn't be, I haven't run into anything, but if there are, those do not reflect the final product, as always. So, this is a game by White Paper Games, and I believe it's actually their first game, and it should be available on Steam when this video goes live for $20. And of course I will link in the description to where you can purchase that. So, I have played roughly an hour and a half of the game, and I have barely started to scratch the surface. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new game, and I will kind of explain what's going on as we go. I believe it's going to start with some speaking though, so I will let that play out, and then I will begin to talk after that. So, let's go ahead and do this.
Hey, it's me. Listen, I'm sorry for the things I said earlier on. It's just, God, I really don't think you should go to that place. I don't think they care. Not like they should. And before you think it, I know how it feels to want to feel safe, to want more. You know I do it. But Jesus, do you know how I view you? Just another patient to squeeze money out of. Please, don't go tonight. I'm freaking scared. For you and for me.
Okay, so that is kind of our intro to the game here. So I'm going to say right off, the game reminds me a lot. I'm going to drop kind of some heavy references here. It reminds me a lot of Myst, like the old classic kind of PC game. Not that it's that old, but in the way that kind of the puzzles play out in this, very much reminds me of Myst. And then other than that, it reminds me a lot of Half-Life, as well as Bioshock Infinite, maybe a little bit of Gone Home, but that's almost implied in the Bioshock statement, just because of how our scenery tells our story. So, we've kind of got these posters here for the Ether Institute of Telepathic Medicine. So you will never forget, we can help them remember. Pick up a restoration information leaflet today. So clearly, we've got kind of some weird stuff going on with memories here. And we started with kind of our phone call. Right, so we can identify objects.
Century, advances in genetic and psychological sciences led to us.
Right, so we had the phone call to kind of start things off, and clearly, whoever that was, most likely related to us, does not want us to be here.
We're so glad to have you back. My name is Dr. Edmonds, but you can call me Phyllis if you like. Right. There should be a register on the reception desk. So once you've signed in, grab the key card from the top drawer and head on down. You will need it to gain access to the lower floors.
Restoration procedure for patient
JN2057
will commence shortly. Staff are advised to prepare chambers for initial projection.
Well, it seems you best get a move on. There's plenty to do. And for you, plenty to see and discover. I'm going to be guiding you through the process of restoration this evening, and hopefully ensuring that nothing terrible happens to you, or our client. I'm in restoration chamber number 3. Now, if you don't mind, would you be a dear and head on down?
Alright, so this, I love the way that they teach us stuff. So they've just got kind of these text pop-ups everywhere. So we can place items there on any kind of surface that looks like that. We can interact with computers as well as documents, kind of in a Bioshock or Gone Home style. And basically, however much work you want to put in to finding documents or reading documents is kind of how much you're going to get out of the game. As far as length, of of course, like I said, I've barely scratched the surface. I've really been taking my time with everything. So, we are looking for Restoration Chamber 3. I'm not going to go too much off the path in this video, because if I time it right, we're going to end up at a pretty exciting kind of cliffhanger to end off the impressions.
Beautiful, isn't it? A miracle of the 20th century. A window into the minds of others and a tool to cure disease and illness. But it would be nothing without the likes of you.
Alright, so...
Right. Would you be a dear and help me with the setup? I need the electrical input for the Rembrandt installation rerouting. You can access it from that terminal over there.
Ta-da! Alright. So, one thing to keep in mind, of course, right, and so we can... I've already done this, but we need 300 AFUs. We can only hold one item at a time. Which is a little different. I don't know if I like that or not. I haven't really decided about kind of that aspect of it. It seems a little weird, because as far as the puzzles go, it kind of plays out like kind of a point-and-click adventure game, in a way. So, obviously, being able to hold more items would be helpful, but I haven't been, like, too bothered by it yet. So, yep, we are going to sit in the chair.
Should do it. Right. Thank you for that. Always nice to get some help around here.
And this is going to lead us kind of into, like, the meat of the game here.
Right. A few things before we project. Our client, Jean, is currently in a very delicate state. Our primary focus is to ensure that we clear this area of her mind from the plaque buildup that is causing the disease. In order to do that from within, we're going to need to use her own memories to reinforce the medical treatment she's receiving.
Alright, so I may talk a little bit over the voices, but as far as like the way this game plays out, so if you haven't kind of picked it up from what's going on here, we are kind of an employee here, and what we're doing is we are going into someone's dreams, and, you know, based on like the posters and the kind of sayings that people are saying, stuff like that, kind of the idea is that we are helping people recover their memories. And, excuse me, that is actually how the gameplay will play out as well, as we're going to be inside of people's memories. Sorry about the black screen here. It shouldn't be too much longer. There we go.
Now, I know this may feel a little strange, being new technology, but please don't worry about it. We all get used to change eventually, don't we?
So we're going to be, you know, picking up items and collecting various things that kind of trigger the patient's memories. And that, you know, that is really kind of the basis of the gameplay here. But what's really impressive about the game is just the way that the story is told. And, you know, again, I'm going to kind of call back to things like Gone Home, because it really is told through that kind of method where...
Okay, listen up. You are in your case. You're probably going to come back here a lot, so please take some time to get acquainted with your surroundings. It keeps most restorers' sanity intact. For a short while, anyway.
Alright, so we can press T and we'll travel. And this, of course, is really kind of, like I said, the meat of what's going on here. I'll do this for an example real quick. Don't know if I actually need this item, but you can take items to and from the case.
Our sole purpose this evening is to track the memory and pinpoint its location so we can cleanse it of any disease present. Everything you're seeing in front of you is a visual environment pieced together from our client's subconscious mind. Barren wastelands or an abstract painting reimagined. It's all completely tangible. All I can see are brain scans of tissue degradation confirming my previous diagnosis of dementia. Both are incredibly important if we are to succeed and understand our clients' needs. Now, if you just give me a second, I'll have some more details for you. Feel free to explore in the meantime.
Okay, so, as I was saying, the case is kind of our way of basically solving the issue of only having the ability to hold one item at a time. Because we can travel to and from the case at any point and go and drop off whatever items we're holding. Well, item we're holding, I suppose. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play until kind of the first big kind of turning point of the story. And that probably won't take too long. But that is quite alright. As far as like an art style goes, again, kind of dropping this name again, it really reminds me of kind of the way that BioShock Infinite looked, where everything looks really nice and has a lot of character, but it's got this really kind of vibrant, almost like cartoony look to it, which is kind of an interesting sort of combination. Alright, just have to remember exactly where we're going. Of course we can open doors to find items, stuff like that. And sometimes we will find items and doors. And again, like I was saying, you can take your time and read documents and stuff like that, which I have been during my personal playthrough. It's just not necessarily the best way to spend time for kind of a let's look at.
This memory is located below you, in an old abandoned mine known as Devlin. Entry 95D in our client's memory journal indicates that an accident occurred affecting them in a meaningful way.
Okay, so we've got sort of a puzzle here. Right, so this is exactly the note I was looking for. Actually, I need to ensure that I remember the lock combination to Devlin's side entrance, but the warden banned any of us from writing it down. Miners eat from metal plates, don't forget. So, that is kind of our clue to look for a metal plate. Yeah, but, as far as the art style goes, I think it looks really, really great. I like it a lot. It is done in the UDK engine, so not only does it look really good, but it also runs really well. I haven't had any problems having it run. And as always, I'm playing on a laptop, so it is running fine, which is always a good sign. Okay, so I do have to, of course, find where the metal plate is. Requires me to remember where the metal plate is, but that's okay because I can spend some time talking about other parts of the game. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of my thoughts on the art style. Personally, I think it looks great. It's honestly just a really pretty game to look at. From a sound perspective, I think the sound design is great as well. Obviously we've heard the voice acting. And the voice acting is really, really good. It definitely sounds very professional. I'm assuming that they hired voice actors, which isn't always the case with, kind of indie games like this. But it sounds like the case for this game. And as well, just kind of the music and some of the ambient sounds also sound really good. Like I said, overall, there's our metal plate. So we can pick it up, turn it around, 1670. Okay. Actually, you can do this, which is interesting. Excuse me. So, because we're in someone else's memories, they were able to, I'm assuming subconsciously, kind of create that document, which, of course, like I said, I read through, not doing it on this video. I can't remember, was it 1670? I think so. We will find out. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm so bad at these. 16. Okay, 1670. Perfect.
Okay, so I've been digging a little deeper into our client's personal history, and I found details of a strong emotional response to someone who once worked within the mine. An entry that discusses the mine at great length, but doesn't discuss whom the individual was that worked there. Continue to work your way down, further into the mine. It seems the center of this memory is very much at the heart of these industrial ratways. I'll contact you if I gain any more information.
Okay, I thought that's what I put the first time. Right, left, right, left. Sorry, I was trying to kind of... Right, left. Right, left. Oop. Left, right, left. That'll do it. And that'll stop our water, allowing us to travel over here. Again, like I said, I'm gonna kind of rush through this part of it because I want to get to the big kind of turning story point here that's coming up. But yeah, I mean, as far as... So, you know, I covered that personally I really enjoy the art and sound. You know, it might not be for everyone, but I think it looks and sounds great. I think there were a lot of good decisions made in the art and sound design, for sure. And then, of course, from a kind of a story aspect, you know, I've been really drawn into it so far. I don't exactly know
I'm not sure how they got here, but
totally what's going on all the time, but
don't worry.
I am enjoying it nonetheless.
As they're an optional task, but we should at least give this one a try.
Things we touch throughout our life can stay with us in the back of our minds. Although broken and fragmented, they hold the key to remembering the way we were.
Okay, so that is actually the voice of the person of Jean, whose memories we're in, of course. And again, you know, sorry that I'm rushing through this. It does actually play out like a point-and-click adventure. So some of these puzzles were not quite so immediate my first time through, of course. But yeah, you know, from a story perspective, it is very, very well done. Just in terms of it being, you know, I guess like the best way to say it is it's mysterious. You know, it keeps you guessing. You know, I'm still kind of wondering where it's all going. And personally, I think that's a good thing. As far as like length, I believe I read from the developer that if you just kind of run through like I am in this video, just going for story stuff and kind of don't bother with a lot of the puzzles, you're looking at roughly 5 hours, which is pretty good. But I believe he said to actually do all the puzzles takes closer to 10 or 12 hours, so that really does kind of significantly increase the length of the game.
Although there wasn't any verbal acknowledgement at this stage, I found that the patient seemed to be calm throughout the entire session. I'm going to watch it off tomorrow and see if there's a direct difference, and if so, I'm in use as an aid in future sessions.
Alright, so these film reels do become somewhat important.
You must be incredibly close to the center of this memory. I think...
And again, kind of provides some of the really mysterious parts of this whole thing. Alright, so perfect. This is actually really good timing. It's exactly where I wanted to be.
There it is. Our readings, they're showing that this is what's causing the symptoms of dementia in our patient. Or at least it's...
So all she was going to do was tell us to find a way to destroy it.
Whatever you do, don't listen to it. It's trying to stay attached to the mind in any way it can. You can't trust it. Hit the switch, restore, destroy it, and we...
What have you done, you stupid idiot? You've ruined everything! Oh, no!
And this is where things get really, really weird. Really fast.
Restorer, you need to keep moving if you're going to survive. I'm going to try to distract you. Right now.
Yeah, and of course you don't get as much control at this part as it may look. I can't just like go off and run a totally different direction. Pretty much leads you through the doors, so that is...
Moments, like stars, are passing me by, burning so bright and so fast as if they never truly existed at all. They're so beautiful, so fragile. I want to hold on to them. I want to hold on and never let them go. Why can't I hold on anymore? Please.
So that is kind of the major turning point that I was talking about, and that is also kind of the perfect point to wrap up my impressions.
There you are.
So, as you can see, we've restored one of 20 projectors, so there's definitely more to do, as well as the rest of all of this to explore.
Now, the objective as stated is to locate Jean's artifact. At this present moment in time, we don't know what this item is. We need to gather information from important memories our client can still understand. Their core memories.
Alright, so at this point we get to continue traveling, continue trying to find ways to restore more of those projectors so that we can kind of continue the process that you saw me start in this video. But that is going to wrap up what I'm going to show off of the gameplay. Of course, there's much more that kind of serves as your intro sequence. The rest of it is much more open-ended. You basically get the world to explore, and you kind of go at your own pace, solve as many puzzles as you want to, and basically make out of the game what you want. Overall, I am very excited about the game. You know, I honestly hope that a lot of people check the game out and give it a shot. You know, personally, I think it's really well done. From an art perspective, it looks great. From a sound perspective, it sounds great. And from a story perspective, there's a lot of interesting things going on here, and a really kind of interesting world and concept to tie it all together. So, yeah, highly recommended for me. I think if you like any of the games that I mentioned throughout, you know, stuff like BioShock, Gone Home, Myst, all that kind of stuff, definitely give this one a shot. I think it is on par with games at that level. So that'll kind of wrap up my thoughts here. So as always, feel free to comment if there's anything that you'd like to comment on. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos every single day. And if you liked what you saw in my video of Ether 1, please consider clicking the like button, because that helps me out a lot, and I appreciate everything that you do to help. So with all of that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.